Hey guys, what's going on? Levi Apparel, like, and subscribe. Appreciate you. All right, cool. So we're doing a lot today. I got 3 videos lined up, so we can basically talk about it. And today, we're gonna go talk about tariffs, Trump's tariff, and then after that, we're gonna talk about screen printing, both screen printing and digital prints, and then finally, we're gonna end with Stahls, right? Transfers. So you guys can know where to get good transfers from. You know what I mean? A lot of people do transfers. Try Allen A. Wade. They do good transfers too. That's from A-Dub Productions. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get you guys the best possible solution towards your needs and what you need to do. Yeah, and this whole t-shirt, gig thing. All right, cool. So like, subscribe, hang on tight, and we're about to start. All right, cool. Let me get the videos ready, and then we're gonna get started. My bad. I just went on acoustic, so you guys should be all set. All right, cool. All right, first. Okay, so we have Justpreet Singh here. He's gonna talk about tariff and what's going on with the whole situation. I'm gonna have him give you a brief synopsis, and then you guys can check his videos. Every video I play is gonna be on the link in the description, so you can watch the full. Cause I'm probably not gonna play all of it, so yeah. All right, here we go. Here's Justpreet Singh. Yeah. All right, let's get it started.
President Trump says that the trade war with China is officially over because China has signed a trade deal and China agrees. They said, quote, both sides have confirmed further details on this framework, and this good news got investors so excited that we saw the stock market break new record highs because investors are hoping that this new trade deal is going to help the economy boom and it's going to help the stock market boom even more. But let's dig a little bit deeper to understand what this new trade deal is, because we've seen a lot of changes. Before President Trump entered the White House, the United States did have tariffs on Chinese goods. It was at a baseline of 3%. China also had tariffs on United States goods. They had a baseline tariff of around 8%. And this is what President Trump said was unfair. China.
So, in case you guys didn't know what's going on, Trump had done a tariff on China because he felt that what's going on with the U.S. and China tariff was unfair, so he implemented his own, and now it's been a whole issue when it comes to textile because a lot of the equipment, the prices went up. A lot of the shipments that were supposed to come in, some of them weren't able to come in on time because delays, and people had to figure out ways around it, right? But as you've seen and heard on my other videos, I'm back on it. So apparently the tariff ended. So Justpreet Singh is just gonna elaborate on it, and then after that we'll talk about other stuff.
is taxing us more than we are taxing them. That was when President Trump entered the White House and raised tariffs on many countries, including China. And President Trump jacked up tariffs on China all the way to 145%. And China reciprocated, raising tariffs on United States goods up to 125%, which put business with China on hold. Because if you're a business and now you have to pay 145% more, you're going to have to sell your products for a whole lot more. And this was painful for our economy because China is the third largest trading partner with the United States after Mexico, after Canada. Well, it looks like we finally have a deal with these tariffs. This is what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said. The new United States tariffs on Chinese imports will start at 30%, and China tariffs on United States imports will be around 10%.
Okay, and this is where we were going to. So a lot of the stuff that's happening, Trump was just, as far as I know, was trying to get more stuff done here in the U.S. because we were too dependent of Chinese import to the U.S. and stuff, right? So that was the whole purpose. Try to see if we can get a lot of stuff done here as much as possible and not rely so much on China. So these tariffs were implemented to like try to promote companies to try to come here and do more of their production in the U.S. to keep it U.S. made. Now, here's the upside. China could have brought, or whatever company that was doing textile, could actually come here and actually get some of the work done here. Since it's here, that means they would be relieved of dealing with tariff and everything else because production would be in the U.S. Right? So now that things had ended, let's see what happens.
Which means it's about 10 times higher than what it was pre-President Trump because we were putting a 3% tariff on Chinese goods baseline before President Trump. Now it's around 30%, and the Chinese tariffs on the United States are slightly higher than what they were pre-Trump. And this is why investors are so excited because they're hoping that we're going to see more trade deals, that this means more business is going to be coming into the United States, that businesses will feel more comfortable finally investing and spending money again to boost the economy, boost the job market, and boost the stock market. But we will ultimately see what happens. But the stock market is booming. However, Canada doesn't agree. President Trump has canceled trade negotiations with China. He said he's, quote, terminating all trade discussions with Canada effective immediately because Canada imposed something called a digital services tax that would essentially be taxing technology from the United States. And President Trump does not like that. And he has said that he's going to be announcing new tariffs on Canada coming within the next 7 days. So let's see what ultimately happens with that. We have a deal with China, but the deal with Canada has fallen through. Chances are something's going to be renegotiated, but that's where we are right now. Now, I want to dig a little bit deeper into the report, saying that prices of things could be rising in the United States starting soon. But before I do that, I've been getting a lot of questions recently about how do you actually invest your money through this type of volatility when markets are breaking new record highs. There's concerns about the economy, and there's a few things I want you to understand because I get this question a lot. You can do it yourself. You can also work with a financial advisor. It's not bad to work with a financial advisor. For some people, it's going to make things a lot easier. For others of you, you're going to want to do it yourself. There's no one size fits all. Personal finance is personal, and you want to know what is your right strategy. But if you do want to work with a financial advisor, make sure you know what your goals are because it's kind of like a doctor. You want to get multiple opinions, and you want to make sure that the doctor is doing something that's in alignment with what you want. So if you are...
So when he talk about finance, that's some stuff that we don't dive into, but he's informing you that this is usually when the economy is going through issues. This is when it's best to get in because market prices are dropping, and it's a lot easier to get into certain things that you've been waiting for, right? But that's for another day. I just wanted you guys to see what's going on with the whole tariff situation. You can watch the whole tariff issue and what's going on on the full video that was just pre-synced. And he's really good. I watch him a lot. Yeah, so yeah, at the end of the day, I'm excited because now we get to see what happens, especially with the whole prices of food, oil, gas, all that stuff. Um, we're gonna see what happens if it goes up a lot or if it doesn't go up as much, because at the end of the day, all this will determine if we actually get a I don't know how to say it, and you know what? I'm gonna just let it go. I want to move on to the next video, but I just hope things are good from now on, and inflation is not too much if it does happen, and we're able to focus and grow into a better economy, and hopefully this is a lesson learned. You know. All right. Looks like somebody just commented. More than half of things come from China. Have. Oh, I think so. This is from a yeah. This is from a I believe a subscriber. Hopefully. But anyways, La Latuya, something like that. Um. So yeah. So this person just said more than they said have, but I think they meant to say half. More than half of things come from China to U.S. Who you think does farming tomatoes? Trump kind and don't think so. Uh, what? Dude, what are you saying? Who you think does farming tomatoes? Trump kind? I don't think so. I don't know what the hell you're trying to say, but whatever, man. At the end of the day, this video was just basically telling anybody who's like, doing drop shipping, who's doing like textile and like all those things. Apparently the tariff has been lifted, so we're gonna see what happens afterwards. Um, I'm put this guy on timeout. Nah, I'm just yeah. You have your comment, but anyways, so at the end of the day, um, hopefully things get better and hopefully we're able to move forward. And even though times may be tough and things may be tougher, but we're just gonna try our best to push forward. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Hey guys, if you're writing, make sure you check your writing and like write it in a way where it's like it's understandable, because there's no period, there's nothing. It's just anyways. All right, cool. So yeah, now we're gonna move back to like t-shirts. Again, I'm giving you guys announcements, daily updates, all that stuff, because at the end of the day, we are about t-shirts, but we gotta bring some more life to the t-shirt community and have more people come in. Like this guy that just came in and had his comment. Is what it is. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't like Trump. Who knows? I'm not in it for whether you like or don't like Trump. I'm just giving the news on like what's going on and details on like things that we should know about as far as like what we do in the whole t-shirt game. And some people get their machines from China. Some people get their transfers from China. Some people get their textile stuff, clothing, whatever from China, and then they import it here. Then they resell it. Um, so at the end of the day, I just want to give you guys this news in case you need it. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's move on to the next, the screen printing. Alright, give me a quick minute. Okay, that I forgot to give him applause. That was just saying appreciate you. Also, I appreciate you too, commenter. You know, everybody has the right to say what they want. Just make sure everything is cordial and
The truth is, for most of us, the difference between screen printing
allow others to read and understand you.
and digital printing is usually just about which one is more cost effective. Digital printing is there so that you can get really small custom printed orders, and screen printing is there.
Give me a quick second. All right. Let's get this going.
The truth is, for most of us, the difference between screen printing and digital printing is usually just
All right, this one's coming from Urban Prints. This is a intro to choosing a printing method, right? So, screen printing is something that most people don't like. Digital printing may not be what everybody like. You know what I mean? Each one has its own purpose. However, when it comes to screen printing, it is a faster method to getting bulk orders done. When it comes to digital, you can only do so much with digital because at the end of the day, you may be limited to how many you can make. So yeah. All right, cool. So let's just get the video started.
just about which one is more cost effective. Digital printing is there so that you can get really small custom printed orders, and screen printing is there so that you can save money on larger ones. So what is the difference between screen printing and digital printing? And how do you pick which print method is going to be best for your order? This is by far the most asked question we get from our customers. And there's a lot of confusion out there about the differences between screen printing and digital printing. So in this video, our goal is to clear up the confusion for you so that you can be confident you're picking the right print method for your order. For some background, these are the two most common forms of t-shirt and apparel printing. And if you're making a design and ordering it on the UberPrints website, these are the two print methods that you're going to have to choose from. So what are these two processes? Well, digital printing, also called direct-to-garment printing, essentially works just like your at-home desktop printer. You have a file on your computer, you hit print, it gets sent over to the printer.
This method right here is called direct-to-garment printing, right? That's when you lay the shirt on a platen, and then the machine reels it in and lays ink on top. So that's direct to film printing right there.
Printer, and there it prints off in small incremental passes as the piece of paper, or in our case the t-shirt, slowly exits the printer. But what these two things also have in common is that they both use CMYK ink to print your image. You know those small cartridges that when they run out of ink, you've got to go buy more that somehow cost more than the printer itself? Well, digital printing uses cartridges just like those, except a lot.
You know what's interesting? Most people that have their direct-to-film printer, they don't realize that even though the white doesn't work. No, let me scrap that. They should think about making a direct-to-film printer. Direct to garment printer that does only colors, because majority of the time, for those people who don't have time to who wants to fix printers, who want to clean the whites and all that stuff, because most of the time the only thing that clogs is the white. It's only the white that clogs. So somebody should really make a printer that just only does colors, because like I said, it's it's hard to clean that white, and a lot of times those printers, those DTG printers, get thrown away because the white doesn't work. So yeah.
Bigger to print your whole design. The other print method, screen printing, is the more traditional form of t-shirt printing. With screen printing, we separate the colors in your image and make individual stencils for each one of those colors. We then mix separate inks for each one and then push those inks through those stencils one after another to print the whole design down onto your t-shirt. So what you want to know now is which one of these print methods is better? The thing is, there's no direct answer to this question because both print methods have important strengths, and which one you choose should really depend on some details about your order and what's important to you. So what you really need to know is what are the key considerations when you're picking between screen printing and digital printing, and based on those, then we can tell you which one is going to be best for your order. So we're going to start by talking about the top 3 considerations when you're picking a print method, and then at the end, we're going to have some possible scenarios so that you can better understand when digital printing is best and when screen printing is best. So number 1 is quantity. And quantity just means the number of pieces of apparel that are printed with the same design. Those could be different types of apparel as long as nothing about the design changes. Well, screen printing has a minimum quantity of 12. And that's because it has an extensive preparation and setup time. So if you're looking for fewer than 12 pieces, digital.
This is great for people who are just starting and want to know what to get into, and if they should do screen printing, digital printing, right? That includes DTF, direct to film, sublimation, white toner, anything that uses a digital mean, right? So, yep.
Printing is your solution. That's really the strength of digital printing, is that setup is so quick that you can order even just one t-shirt if you want to. If you're ordering 12 or more, you can actually go with either of the print methods, but if it's anything above about 25 or 30 pieces, you'll almost surely want to go with screen printing. And that's because screen printing has much bigger bulk discounts for higher quantity orders. Because even though it has more extensive prep and setup, the printing part is just so much more efficient. If you're in that 12 to 24 range, you'll definitely want to pay attention to the other 2 considerations, but you can always compare price with a quick quote on the website, and at the end, we'll go over how price is calculated for the 2 print methods. The second consideration is apparel. Screen printing is going to have a much wider variety of options when it comes to the type of apparel and the different apparel colors that you can print on. That's because screen printing works on any fabric type, including 100% polyester, performance fabrics, and a lot of other synthetic blends. Digital printing, on the other hand, is best for 100% cotton and other cotton blends. So we only offer it on products and colors that we've tested and we can guarantee print quality. You can always sort our catalog by products with no minimum and still see tons of styles and colors that are available for digital printing. We've made sure that we offer plenty of comparable styles for both print methods, and available colors are always separated between the 2 print methods, so it's clear which ones have a 12-piece minimum and which don't. Consideration number 3 is your design. Photographs and designs with lots of colors are generally better candidates for digital printing, especially if it's fewer than about 24 pieces. That's because digital printing is much better at easily reproducing photographic images, but also because it uses those CMYK inks to make all the colors. It doesn't matter how many colors are in your design. However, screen printing can be a better option and a much more cost-effective option if you have fewer colors or if you're ordering larger quantities. Because screen printing requires that we separate the colors in your design and print them individually, the cost of screen printed orders depends on the number of colors in your design. 6 or 7 colors may not be a big deal for 50 or more shirts, but if you're only ordering 12, you'll want to make sure to keep your color count low so that it can stay a cost-effective option. And even though screen printing is generally associated with those solid, bold graphics, it's still possible to print elaborate and realistic designs with screen printing. It just may require some adapting to make the design work best. One final thing to consider is how important color matching is to your print. Because with screen printing we mix and print each color individually, we can match the color to a specific brand or a logo or any time a specific color may be important. So if you need your print to match a Pantone color, for instance, screen printing is the best option. So for a quick recap, your 3 considerations are: number 1, quantity. Fewer than 12 and you'll definitely want to go with digital printing. Anything higher than about 30 and you'll definitely go with screen printing. Anything in between and you probably just want to compare.
I had to do my first ink mixture, and it was exciting. I had to create a so I had green, and somebody wanted forest green. So what I did was, I took some black, I added it on to a certain degree, a certain amount, and then mixed it up, and bam, there you go. That was the first time that I ever did like the mixture for the screen printed ink. So I was excited. So yeah.
Price when you get your quote. Number 2 is the apparel. Not all products and colors are going to be compatible with digital printing, but everything is for screen printing. Just take note of what products and colors are available for the 2 print methods when you're looking through the catalog. Number 3 is your design. If you want to print lots of colors or even a photograph on just a few shirts, you'll probably go with digital printing. If it's just a couple colors, or if you're ordering a much higher quantity like we said before, then screen printing is probably the better option. So how is the price for digitally printed and screen printed orders calculated? So screen printing has a couple extra cost factors, but we'll go ahead and talk about the things that both print methods have in common. Cost factors for both print methods are: first, the apparel. These can range from value to premium options and depend on the style and brand. Second is the number of print locations. One location would just be a print on the front, and 2 locations would be a print on the front and back. And third, whether you're printing on a white shirt or a darker colored shirt affects cost because an extra layer of white ink is necessary to print the design on darker colored fabric. The 2 additional cost factors for screen printing are: first, the number of colors in your design. Because we have to prepare and print each color individually, fewer colors means lower cost, and more colors means higher cost. The second cost factor, and this is the really big one, is quantity. How many pieces of apparel do you want printed with the same design? As you increase your order quantity, we automatically apply bigger and bigger bulk discounts, and that can dramatically reduce your cost per piece. You can check out our quote calculator to get an idea of how these different cost factors and 2 different print methods will affect.
That's one issue I have, properly pricing the products. So what I'll do is I'll go custom make, order the same thing, see what their price is, and I put it a little bit higher. That's pretty much what I do.
Affect your order, but you can also try different options on a design you've already created when you go to get your final quote. The truth is, for most of us, the difference between screen printing and digital printing is usually just about which one is more cost effective. Digital printing is there so that you can get really small custom printed orders, and screen printing is there so that you can save money on larger ones. And at what quantity one becomes more cost effective than the other is just going to depend on how many colors are in your design. And it can be really helpful to know if you're going to order fewer than 12, just so that you can focus on apparel with no minimum order requirement, if that's what you need. To help you better understand the key differences between screen printing and digital printing, I've put together some examples for us to take a look at. We'll talk about which print method would be best and why, using some real-world scenarios so that you can apply it to your own order. So let's take a look at a couple designs and I'll walk you through the details. The first example is this Stay Creative design you've probably seen featured a few times. It's actually an image that I've uploaded into the design studio, and I selected 2 colors from the drop-down once it uploaded, and decided to pick matching colors from our palette. Now that I've arranged it on the shirt here, I'm ready to order, so I'll head up to Quote and Buy. So let's say that I only wanted to order 3 of these for a couple people on our team. In that case, I'd want to select digital printing just because that will allow me to print fewer than 12 pieces, and the processing time is only 1 to 2 days. If you don't see digital printing as an option available, it's because it's not compatible with the product or color you have selected, so just head back and swap it out for an option labeled with no minimum. But let's say that I wanted to order this design for more people and I did need 12 of them printed. It's cheaper to order 12 of them with screen printing because there's only 2 colors in this design, and you can see how big the bulk discounts are if I wanted to order even more with screen printing. The processing time for standard screen printed orders is about 5 business days. You get free shipping, and you can pick from any of the styles and colors that are in the apparel catalog. Now for a pro tip. If you want to save even more money, you can change the apparel color to white and get a little bit of a price break. And this is true for digital printing and screen printing. But you can also check out some value-priced apparel options. The Ultra Cotton Tee is the default t-shirt in the design studio and is just about the cheapest option out there. But I really like to recommend the Soft Style t-shirt. It's noticeably softer and more fitted than the Ultra Cotton Tee, and it's still a very cost-effective option. The second example we'll take a look at is this t-shirt design that I made for my fictional landscaping business. I actually made this design using one of our design templates, and that means that every bit of it was made right here in the design studio, and it's fully customizable. If you're interested in getting started with a template, just check out all the categories in our design template section. So let's say that I wanted to order 12 of these for all of my employees. If I select screen printing and get my quote, you'll see that it's actually a bit cheaper to digitally print this design. That's just because this design I've made has 5 colors. The last one we looked at is only 2, and the cost for screen printed orders is based on the number of colors in your design. If I didn't want to order any more, I could get it a bit cheaper with digital printing, but let's say that I wanted to order 24 of them just so that everyone can have 2. Now you
That's interesting. Digital is more cost effective and there's no minimum. I like that.
can see that screen printing is cheaper just because those bulk discounts were applied, and it gets even cheaper per t-shirt if I order more. For either 12 or 24 pieces, if I had a specific Pantone color for my brand and wanted the ink colors matched to it, I would need to select screen printing, and I can leave that as a note here. Or if I just really want a style or fabric color that's only available.
I love his layout. I've been trying to get this for my website for a minute, but the issue with it is being able to have it on the website costs $200 a month, and I ain't about to spend that. So yeah, I wish I knew what he was using. It's possible he may be using screen printing, custom make, but it's probably something else. I like this layout. I want it bad.
Available for screen printing, I can still do that. Now for another pro tip. With a design like this one, you can usually reduce your color count by at least 1 just by using some smart designing, and that can save you some money. It's an easy trick to use the color of the apparel in the design itself. For example, let's get rid of this blue sky in the middle of the design and just select a shirt color that can replace it. First, I'll switch to an apparel color that's closer to that sky blue. Then select this piece of the design and change the blue color to this shirt color swatch. Now my design is only 4 colors, which will save me some money, but using this tactic can also make your design look even better with the t-shirt it's on. The last example I have is this event t-shirt design that I made by uploading a photograph and pairing it with some text from the design studio. It's pretty common for customers to put together photographic designs like this one, and with digital printing, we can absolutely print full color photographs. But I think we can really improve on this design and at the same time make it better suited for screen printing so that if you're ordering for a whole event, you can get the best price possible. The first thing we can do to make this design look better is to feather the edges so that the photograph blends into the shirt and gets rid of this stark rectangle. The next thing is to simplify the photograph to a monochromatic color scheme that matches the shirt color and is just a few colors. To do this, just label your photograph with 3 colors when you upload it and include these notes when you save your design and ask for a proof of the changes. Go ahead and place your order, and during our review and design preparation process, our art department will make the changes noted in your design and you'll receive an email with an image for you to look over. And this is what those changes would look like. The design is now only a 3-color print that better matches the text, fits better on the t-shirt, and all around is much better designed. Now for a final pro tip. If you ever want any kind of design simplified to fewer colors, just leave a note with your design when you order, letting us know how many colors you'd like it simplified to. Once your design changes are made, our customer service department will make sure to update any order costs to make sure you're getting the best price possible. I really hope this has made understanding the differences between screen printing and digital printing a lot easier, and you feel more confident making a decision. But as always, contact us if you have any questions, and we'll make sure that you're putting together the best order possible. And be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and everything.
All right, like you said, do that. All right, cool. Let's give him applause. Check them out. If you need shirts. I think they're called Uber Prints or something like that. Link is on the description. Like and subscribe to their channel and support them. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next thing, and then we are out of here. All right, so primarily here in the studio, whenever we have big orders, I'm doing what's over here, well, on the other side of the room, which is screen printing. I got a 4-color, 4-station screen printing press. Most of you guys already know that. And also I added an addition. It's a 1-color station, but it's a small 1-color station for a reason, because when you're doing the kids and like totes, it doesn't fit in the 4-color 4-station screen printing machine that was meant primarily for medium, large, and extra large and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so at the end of the day, I had to create one that was smaller, and I'm glad I did. It helped me get rid of a lot of products. Yeah, so like, subscribe, and go check them out. It's really good. They talked about some good stuff, right? Yeah. All right, cool. So let's move on to the next thing, and then after that, I got to be out. Gotta do my Uber.
I've been asked.
Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. The AC in here is really cold, and when it gets like super cold, like I feel really tired. So yeah, you know what, let me turn it off. Oh man, it's like 65 degrees in here. All right, woo. Gotta take care of the beard, you know how it is. Alright, cool. So now, let me see if I can get the other one on for you.
Or
Alright, here we go. All right, guys.
managing a full-blown print shop. We are going to help you make the smartest decision for your business as it relates to DTF right here in this video. So are you ready? Let's jump right in.
Alright. First, I like to give Stahls an applause. They are really good. They've been coming through. They're the go-to when it comes to like getting your stuff. especially transfers. If you don't want to worry about like, oh, is this the right size? Is the image good? All that stuff. Just go straight to Stahls transfers. They do DTF transfers. They do screen print transfers. If you're clueless, you could just do goof proof, whatever. Yeah, so they're not paying me to say this, but I have a lot of their stuff, their products, and they're the ones who helped me, get my start. So yeah, I ordered a lot of things from them, and they're really, really, really good. If you want your transfers, there's people you can go to, but at the end of the day, they're king when it comes to like making products. When it comes to heat transfers or digital transfers, heat press. They do a lot. Vinyl. They do a whole lot. So yeah. So like and subscribe. Levi Apparel, and go check out Stahls. Link is on the description. All right, cool. Yeah, Stahls.
Now, over the past few years, I've been asked a whole bunch by decorators just like you, when does it make sense to buy a DTF printer? But here's the truth. You probably don't need a direct-to-film printer. Now, I'm not saying that DTF is bad. Far from it. Direct-to-film printing is one of the most powerful tools in the apparel decoration industry today. But owning the printer, well, that's a whole different story. So let's walk through what no one else online is telling you. So it's easy to see why people get excited about buying a DTF printer, right? You hear unlimited prints on demand, full color.
Yeah, that's why I have mines. It may be harder for me to do colors because the white ink clogs often, and I do have a converted. I haven't bought a regular one yet. I'm not gonna buy a regular one. My converter does what it needs to. Plus, I bought a brand new printer. Yeah, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. However, when it comes to whites, I'm gonna need to outsource that and have anything for like dark color t-shirts come in. So Stahls is definitely a company I love, and that's why I brought them to you so you can see they do stuff on demand. They do have order quantities, but they're really good. They're really good.
Color graphics with no layering or any complicated mirroring or making process, right? You have a low cost per print, total control of print quality, and on and on. It sounds great, right? But here's what most forget. So let's look at the real numbers behind owning a direct-to-film printer. First, the initial investment, right? You're looking at least $5,000 to $60,000 plus, depending on the size and brand that you're buying, right? Next, we have to look at the image processing software, or the RIP software, which could be anywhere from $600 to $2,000 every single year. Next, the maintenance, daily cleaning, monthly part replacements, print head issues, and a lot of downtime. If you don't believe me, join any DTF printing Facebook group or online forum. It's not an if it will break, it's a when it's going to break, right? And it's the number one challenge for decorators with a direct-to-film printer. Next, you have the supplies, film, powder, inks, white ink, right? Not just the CMYK inks, and
So again, I do DTF. He's right. When it comes to the film, the powder, the inks, right? The CMYK, which is what I do, no problem. But when it comes to white ink, man, I stay away from that. The minute my printer stopped printing white, I'm good. I'm good. I'll just do transfers. I just do transfers.
prices are volatile, supply chains are inconsistent, and in today's day and age, tariffs are, well, unpredictable, right? So those could be hidden expenses down the road. Next, electricity and utilities. You're powering a printer, a powder shaker, a conveyor dryer, an air purifier, or maybe even an exhaust system. Maybe you even had to install a new 220-volt outlet in your facility. You got to think about that and the costs involved. And electricity and energy costs are higher than they ever have been before. Next up, labor.
Yeah, he is right. he is right. Electricity is going up. It's every year it's getting higher and higher. But still, I would still do regular transfers for light color garments on my printer because at the end of the day, it's quick and easy. Quick and easy. I have it. I don't have to order it out. Nothing. But when it comes to dark colors, definitely will be ordering out. Definitely. And anybody that has a DTF printer, if your color's not printing and you're not like the ones making the transfers for people, you're just making transfers for yourself. Listen, just order out. Don't get yourself in that whole headache of trying to purge the system of the white ink and the other inks. But that's gonna do is it's gonna mess up your print head. You're not gonna get any prints, and then you're gonna have to order a new print head anyways. But you're gonna spend more money. I'm not trying to spend no money. It's just I want to get things done quick and easy. Quick and easy. Yeah.
Someone has to run it, maintain it, troubleshoot it, and prep the artwork. Is it going to be you, or are you going to have to hire, right? Add it all up, and what do you get? Your cheaper prints now actually cost the same, if not more, than ordering high-quality custom DTF transfers. And that doesn't even factor in the stress or your time. But Dave, you're just trying to sell transfers. Of course, you're going to knock the printers because you work for Stahls, but no. I'm here to help your business succeed. And having just chatted a couple of weeks ago with real decorators and print shops who thought they had to buy a printer, only to have it currently sitting in the corner as a paperweight, that certainly isn't winning. Here's what every owner of a DTF printer will tell you after they've bought one. Number one, the white ink is an absolute nightmare. It clogs constantly. You're going to be doing cleanings all the time and a lot of downtime. Number two, technology moves, well, fast. And in just a year, all of last year's DTF printer models are pretty much obsolete now, which in most cases is before they're even paid off, which is not the best investment. Now, the inconsistent supplies of films, right? They could stick, not peel, they could crack, or leave a very oily feeling residue depending on the climate or the other materials you're using, right? And excess moisture in your facility grabs all of that extra powder, leading to, well, a lot of snot on the prints, or at least the appearance of it, not the quality, right? And when quality varies every day, especially in different humidity or climates, it's hard to keep that consistent quality when those customers come back for reorders and that color blue, well, just isn't the same color blue anymore. And now you have to go figure out why, and it's your problem to fix. Now, turnaround isn't all that fast if you do have...
This is why it's good to get your inks. From big boys, big boy ink, big boy prints, big boy prints. Get your inks. Listen, guys, go to Amazon, get your prints from Big Boy Prints. Big boy, yeah. Anyways, he sent me some, so I figured I'd do some shameless plug. You feel me? You feel me? Big Boy Prints. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. So Stahls is amazing, man. This is why I made sure you guys saw this, because at the end of the day, also get some big boy prints. Amazon DTF ink. Get your DTF ink over there. All right. That's if you're doing it yourself. But if you don't want to do everything yourself, go to Stahls. They're good. They have transfers, all that stuff. They're amazing. They're amazing. All right.
Downtime on your printer, right? You can't print same day if your printer's not printing. And if there's a problem with any of the quality, any of those supplies, or now there's banding showing up in your prints, well, that's now a you problem and an emergency problem you have to drop everything else in your business to fix right now. And you didn't start your business to babysit a printer. So why start now? Instead of spending 20 hours a week running and fixing your printer, you could spend that time pressing, selling, marketing, or scaling your business, right?
He has a point. Here's the thing: when you don't worry about the white, right? And this is why I keep saying, DTF light prints. When you don't have to worry about your white, man, I just let this sit here. When I need it, I use it. Other than that, like, I don't even bother with it. You know what I mean? I just come in. I'll do my regular print head check. You know, print head. I do a print head cleaning, print head check, and then after that, I just let the machine do its thing. That's it, right? The white comes out, it comes out. It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't care. I just need the colors to be there, you know. And if I need anything for dark shirts, I order out transfers because they're gonna have the white background, and I'm good to go. Yeah.
Looking out for the success of these growing businesses, and that's where quality custom transfers like Ultracolor Max from Stahls really come in. Now with Ultracolor Max, there are no setup fees, there's no maintenance, no minimums, the fast turn times which start as soon as the same business day, hot peel, low temperature application that's great for sensitive fabrics, polyesters, or performance wear, and last, the unmatched durability, the soft hand feel of the inks, and the color consistency from order to order. You get all the benefits of DTF printing without the burden of owning the printer yourself. Sure, it seems like everyone and their mom is selling custom DTF prints these days too. I know I personally can't open social media without being bombarded with ads of dudes walking around with their shirts off, or, hey, these are 1 cent per square inch, or people crawling around in cheetah costumes to sell me DTF prints. Well, gimmicks don't help your business, right? Quality transfers do. Now, many of these shops picked up a printer and dumped a whole...
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Stahls been here for so long. They've perfected so many things, and a lot of those machines, they make it themselves in-house. You know, minus the ones that they might have gotten from China, who knows. But yeah, they do quality control. They have a whole staff. They're like a humongous, gigantic company. Like when it comes to like quality control, they are #1. You know, so yeah, Stahls is really good. And if you have problems, you just hit them up and they'll send you more.
slew of money into ads to sell transfers, not help you build your business. Trusting a reputable supplier who has the experience of heat transfer technology and thousands of professional print shops and brands that trust them, well, that's a good sign. And with over 90 years in heat-applied products and heat transfers, Stahls has your back. There's always a cheaper option wherever you go, right? But the cheapest option isn't building your brand's reputation and helping you grow. It's hurting it, right? And that's terrible when you're just getting started. I talk to decorators that are always looking for, I want to maximize my margin, and then they ask me why their business isn't growing and why their customers aren't coming back. Well, it's quality. You need to have a quality product. So let's be honest. Buying a DTF printer does make sense, but only if, number one, you have a high daily volume to absolutely justify it. We're talking 8 to 10 hours at the bare minimum of it printing every single day. And in many cases, to justify it, you need more than that. Number two, if you could hire somebody or dedicate staff to operate and maintain the printer. I know at our Stahls facilities, there are multiple maintenance technicians that are on staff every single day to work on the printers to maintain quality. Are you ready to handle that in your shop? Also, are you ready to handle logistics, quality control, tech issues, and inventory, right? You're going to need to stock inks, films, adhesives, right? So that you have them on hand. And we have labs where we test and quarantine our incoming shipments to make sure they are consistent in the same product that your last job was printed on, right?
That's what I was
Which is
talking
why
about.
we developed a proprietary supply chain so that we have control of everything, right? When you're ordering from overseas, it's really up in the air. All right, so take into consideration all of that and one last big kicker. and that is the need for same-day turnaround. Often, and you can't even wait
Alright, that's the
24
part I wanted
hours
to
for your
go to
prints.
before I
Well,
end it.
for 99% of apparel decorators, that's just not the case. With on-demand printing turnaround at 3 to 5 days right now, and standard t-shirt printing in bulk at 10 to 14 business days, same-day turnaround with Ultracolor Max gets your transfers to your door in just a couple days maximum, able to meet every single one of those windows. Now, with over 15 years of being in the print.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a while. All right, hold on. All right, guys. All right. That was Stahls, the go-to for your transfers. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, man. Listen, I got my Epson 15,000. For some reason, the software I'm using, I have to keep playing around with it for it to do the 13 inches, and I don't have time for that. So I just want to print, get it going. So I'm just leaving it for like regular shirts, like anything that's 10 or less, pockets, whatever. I'm just gonna leave it for that. But my HP 14,000, it does the full. It's more like 12.5, but yeah, it does the full like 13 inches, whatever, by 19. So I'm gonna use that for more of a larger prints, right? And the software I've been using for is an old software, but it's a goodie, and I had it in my computer. It's been sitting there, and at the end of the day, I have it. I'm not gonna try to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It's here. But yeah. So at the end of the day, um, that's what my setup's gonna be. But I'm not doing any white on my FC 1400. It's gonna be. I mean, my Epson 1400 is only going to be the CMYK colors only, and that's it. That's it. That's it. All right. Like, subscribe, Levi Apparel. All right, cool. I'm out. Peace. Yeah. No applause. No applause. No applause. That was great.